So I tried to react to this last night, but while we were on stream and the whole entire stream got taken down for some reason. So, not their stream, not my stream. Their stream got taken down for some reason. So, let's react to this again. The whole entire thing. It's around 12 minutes long. By the way, just quick recap here. I will be live tonight again for the second round of the NFL Draft. So make sure you stay tuned and you check out tonight's video because it's going to be crazy, guys. 1 second.
Excited to get Myles in here.
What specifically about him do you guys like to be able to pair him with Sam, Trey, and Joe?
So I just think, as Zach just said, you're getting a guy that brings position flex. He's played both outside and inside, can rush from different spots. The teams we have to play and when we have to play them, the more rushers we have on the field at one time, the better we'll be. And, he's a guy that will fit right in with that in that mode.
Lou, how do you see you getting him on the field this year?
Oh, he'll be in the rotation right away. We play a ton of D linemen, so he'll jump right in there and back up Sam and Trey and get right in there. Like I said, in the mix with those guys and be in the third down rush package and whatever we come up with there. So looking forward to get him going right away.
How did his pre-draft process kind of impact you guys? I mean, it was a little hurt, obviously, had to delay his pro day. Were you guys kind of waiting to see that, or how did that kind of impact you?
No, we felt good about the tape that we'd seen, and he came in here on a visit. So we've met with him a couple times, felt really good about all the things that come with that. So, again, just excited that he was there at 28 for us.
Did that make you more worried when he did test well after he got his pro day, that people would be back on him?
Oh, yeah. This wasn't a scenario we thought was going to play out for us, to be quite honest with you. It's anything can happen. And but, in all of our discussions we had over the previous days, I didn't think that Myles Murphy was going to be there at 28.
Zach, you've been big on intangibles, guys that love ball. Is that Myles Murphy?
Yeah, I think, the guys that we've had come out of Clemson all fit that description. They do a good job with the program down there of, first of all, finding the right guys that fit them and fit what they embody and all the championships they've played for. And, so those guys have really fit in well with us as well. And so I think Myles is going to fit that perfectly.
How much did Hobby's familiarity kind of with that program and with that room over there kind of maybe play into your evaluation?
Yeah, that doesn't hurt. He's obviously well connected there, and I know that he's pretty jacked up about this one too.
With the great quarterbacks, Zach, in the AFC and Lou, that you guys face every year, how important is it to really have some more star talent, especially in the first round with that pick?
I'll start, and then I'll let Lou finish it. But just, being an offensive play caller, wearing that hat for a second, anytime the first thing you're looking at the depth chart typically is what's the rush look like, and so anytime you see a lot of depth there and guys that they can keep putting on the field that are going to affect the passer, that's kind of the first thing you got to have a protection plan for, and then you build on from there. And so you can never have enough of those guys that can play three downs for you.
Yeah, and just to build on that, if we're generating a rush with just four, that allows us to cover with more, obviously. So this guy's just going to be able to do a bunch of different things. We like guys like that we can fit in to different packages, different schemes, and with his athleticism, we'll be able to use him in a bunch of different ways, and we like that.
Zach, 2 straight years, you went with the guy you had a starter at, like the best player available. A lot of teams say it. What makes it so important to you guys to really act on that?
Yeah, you're getting guys that can come in right away and help your team win. And we're building for the short term and the long term, obviously. And this guy, I think, anytime you can add D linemen to the room that can come in and play, that's a good thing. We think this guy in the short term really helps us as well. It's always good to add to the rush, and we've got a lot of young guys there behind Sam and Trey. But you can never have too many of them, and let those guys come in there and compete for reps and time, and with Joseph and Cam and all those guys. So it's a really exciting group for us right now, adding him to the mix, and so excited to see how it all plays out.
In a draft where there's guys 24, 25 years old, he's 21, he produced all 3 years, was all conference, all of those things. How important is that age, producing at a young age and showing that early?
Yeah, there's still room to go up. Anytime I was a redshirt freshman in junior college when I was 21. I was the only guy in the dorms that could go to certain stores. And so to imagine a guy coming out, to go to the NFL at that age is I'm sure there's still room to go there, which is a great thing. But like you said, he's played 3 effective years there at Clemson, done a great job for him academically and on the field, and so seems very mature from our experiences with him. And I think that he'll fit right in. But again, still at 21 years old, there's still some development that he can have there, and that's exciting.
Zach, did you guys receive any calls from other teams about potentially trading back, and was that a thought with kind of run right before you guys at all?
You know, I'll leave that one to Duke. There's always phone calls that you never know if it's just friends talking or what's going on. So I'll leave that to Duke at a later date.
You guys took about a minute to make the selection. I mean, at what point in the first round did you think, this is our guy, we covet this guy? I mean, if this guy's here, we're going to jump all over this.
I think that's what, Duke does a great job of, is laying it out and talking about it 5 picks before, 4 picks before. Shoot, I think 8 picks before is when we really started the conversation. And you're watching guys get checked off the board, and sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. But I think we had a high degree of confidence that if he was there, we were going to take him and feel really good about it.
What was your reaction when Jacksonville moved back a couple of times? Were you paying attention at that point?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they just kept moving back. So you never know what's going on. But again, we had good players on the board for us. The number 1 player being the one that we got. And so we felt good about being there at 28 and staying put.
You mentioned meeting with him a couple of times. What stood out in those meetings when you both got a chance to sit down with him one-on-one or talk to him?
I mean, just a bright-eyed guy that loves football, and comes across for a young guy very mature, and that's we like that. And when it comes to crunch time, those players like that, will be able to stand up and rise up in those biggest moments and big games and playoff games and things like that. So his maturity stood out for sure to me right away.
Beyond seeing a guy do it on tape in college, are there specific traits you look for to kind of peg a guy to be effective inside and outside and give you that versatility?
I mean, like you said, you see it first, so you want to be able to see him do it. But then you look at his numbers, how fast he ran, how high he jumped, and just he's got great length. So he checks all the boxes from a measurable standpoint, and you add that with his makeup as a guy and as a player, teammate, those things. That's what kind of brings brought a high level of that we liked him the way we did.
Lou, at what point in the process from whenever you started watching guys did you kind of zero in on him as someone you potentially really like to have?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we watch a ton of guys, and you rank them and put a little star next to somebody maybe you like a little bit more, and got a chance to look at him early. Hobb identified him, and the scouts obviously before that, and so early on, we liked him and kind of stayed on him throughout the process, and it worked out for us tonight.
Any performance of his that specifically earned a star, you'd say would be star worthy from his senior year?
I just think how consistent he was, to be honest. You saw him through big games, whether it was maybe against a lesser opponent in college, and he still came out and played with great effort and energy and was productive, against the best teams they played, as well as maybe a lesser opponent, as I mentioned. So, you like to see that in the guys, and he displayed that.
What are the big terms, premium positions? Like, what makes defensive end such a premium position in the modern NFL?
Well, it gets back to what Zach said earlier. You're going to apply pressure to the quarterback, and these great quarterbacks we have to play, if they're back there in a clean pocket, they're going to pick you apart no matter how well you're covering them. So to move them around, to get them off their spot, to sack them and pressure them and hit them, that's the only way you really can affect these guys. So he's just another one along the lines. We've got some darn good ones already, as I mentioned, with Trey and Sam and Joseph and that group. So this guy will jump right in there.
High character group of guys in that defensive lineman. This guy sounds like he's going to do nothing but add to that.
Yeah, for sure. We certainly feel like we've done a great job of collecting the right type of guys. Obviously they got to be good players, but they're also great men, and he fits that mold perfectly.
Zach, there's a lot of conversation about y'all potentially looking at a tight end at that spot. What maybe makes a defensive end maybe more useful than a tight end maybe at the spot where y'all are drafted?
Yeah, that conversation didn't come from us. So, we felt good about taking another DN if he was there. There was really, there were several positions I think that were open there for us to take. And, we feel like we've just got a really good roster. And there's a lot of good players that can come in and play roles for us at a number of different positions, defensive end being one of them. And so we were just fortunate that he was there for us.
I think you were near the bottom of the pack in sacks last year, kind of middle of the pack in pressure percentage. Did you identify improving the rush as the biggest thing you had to improve in the offseason?
Anytime you're not high numbers wise, but we look at more of the collective outcome to it. So certainly you want to improve the numbers there for sure. But as long as we're continuing to do what we do and how we affect the quarterback, and the QBR rating is something that we did really well over the last couple of years. So if you're getting more sacks, that's even going to present bigger opportunities for us on defense to create field position swings and things like that. So yeah, we obviously want to get better there, and I think he can affect that.
With the roll call of quarterbacks in the AFC now, obviously affecting the quarterback is probably as big a priority as anything. Can never have enough good rush guys and cover guys, I guess.
Oh, for sure, 100%, and that's something that every team tries to do, and we're no different.
Lou, has the style of the best quarterbacks in the league right now impacted what you look for, the traits you value in a pass rusher?
I mean, guys like Mahomes, Herbert, all the great quarterbacks that we have to play. They're mobile guys. There's really very few that are just going to stand there. So the more athletic you are, the faster you are, the way you can get them off their spot. And now you're chasing them. The faster, as I mentioned, the faster and more athletic you are, the better you're going to be in tracking them down. So I think it just adds to as much speed as you can have, the better you'll be.
Great pass rushers in the league are some of the highest paid guys in the league. With some of the contracts that you're trying to get done, did you look at pass rusher, defensive end as an area where we need to get some rookie contracts, guys like that?
I don't know that that's the reasoning for it. We just felt like we had a great player there at a position that really impacts the other team's quarterback. And that was really what drives the process there. We have a lot of great players on this team. That's why we've been in the games we've been in lately. And a lot of them are going to be highly paid. That's just part of the business. But we're just trying to add quality players that can help us win championships right now. Okay, thank you all.
All right, so let's talk about that. Starting off right away, again, like I said, my initial reaction when he was first drafted, I walked out of the room, okay? And yes, it was an overreaction because I did want Michael Mayer. But looking back at it now, again, like I said before, I had Myles Murphy on the 14th. I had him as on my draft board. Let me see if I can pull up my draft board here. I think it's not this one. This one. So you guys can see I have Myles Murphy ranked at number 14 right in front of Nolan Smith. Obviously, I do have the tight ends ranked in front of him, but I do have him at 14 for a reason. The thing about the whole situation, by the way, I'm sorry I had to put up the little blockade for the NCAA clips. NCAA, if you post anything about their content, like with their players, they will take down your videos like crazy. So I have been, when I tried to do NFL draft videos last year, they took down like all my videos. It was crazy. But anyway, though, so that's why I had to put a blockade so they don't take down my content. Anyway, though, at the 14th, I've seen anyway a million times, but at the 14th, I have him ranked there. He was a really good pass rusher from Clemson who could have been a top 10 pick if not for injury. So it's like, it's one of those situations where, if you're Cincinnati, and I understand why they took him because he is the best player available, right? On paper, he is the best player available. The team, the player that all the fans wanted is not always usually the best player available. And to Cincy, that's him. He's a really good player, and when he is healthy, he is a top-end player. He's going to be a nice rotational piece that's going to come in, get after the quarterback. I kind of compare him a lot to Yannick Ngakoue. But the difference is you don't have to pay someone like Yannick Ngakoue to come in here, give him a crap ton of money to do what you can now get out of the first round here. He's going to be not the same production value, but eventually, one day, the same production value as Yannick Ngakoue, and you're going to pay him a lot less money. So it's a great pick. And at the end of the day, it is an amazing pick. And again, Michael Mayer still on the board. So clearly, you know, to a lot of people, he might not have been the top of the list at, you know, the draft picks, right? So again, like I said, you know, at the end of the day, we always give our opinions on, oh, they should draft this guy, this guy, this guy, but we don't always know, you know, what their draft order is. Who do they have at the top of their list? What's their board look like? I showed you my board. We don't know what Cincinnati's board looks like. So in my board, yes, Michael Mayer was number 10. But on their board, you know, Michael Mayer might have been number 24. And it might have been completely different. So it is what it is at the end of the day. He's going to be an amazing player and lose defense. That's what, you know, at the end of the day, the best thing I look at is he's going to be an absolute utility knife. That's what I want to say. And lose defense. You can line him up anywhere you want him to line up. He can do anything you need him to do. So, A-plus pick for that reason. Even if it's not Michael Mayer, again, like I said, you know, I did walk out of the room, man. I did walk out of the room for reasons of... And again, in that context, because if you didn't watch the actual, you know, draft live stream, you might be confused. I walked out of the room also because, like, we were talking about Michael Mayer the whole entire time, and there was so much suspense brought up where it was like every single pick, it's not Mayer, 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 and then bam. So that's another reason why we, you know, I walked out of the room. But it's still a really good pick, and it seems like they love him too. So I'm definitely going to be interested to see moving forward, you know, how much play time he gets his first year, because it's going to be a rotation between him and Joseph as a, you know, edge rusher rotational pieces. But I think Lou's going to go crazy with him and turn him into a top-end pass rusher in the NFL. And in a couple years, we might be talking about the Bengals have the best pass rusher in the NFL. No longer are they getting the 28th after getting after quarterbacks, and now they're number 1. Well, let's wait and see. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out.